Hi guys, today I want to take a look at the next chapter of the book, The 50th Law, and it's about leadership. Throughout the history, we have seen that certain people stand out from the crowd, and what made these people different is that their ability to unite people and lead them to a certain goal, and we call them leaders basically. But not all leaders have achieved great success, but only a handful number of them, such as Napoleon Bonaparte, Gandhi, or Winston Churchill. Or if you take a look at our time, you can consider people such as Steve Jobs or maybe Elon Musk. So what we are going to do in this video is to discuss what really separated this small number of leaders from the rest of the crowd. So the first difference is their leadership style. What you have probably realized that most leaders lead from behind. During the wars, the usual general would stay in his tent behind the army and bark out the orders, thinking that having such a distance will make it easier to command. But in reality, this comes out of fear. The commander is trying to hide himself from the potential danger. But if you take a look at the greatest generals in history, such as Napoleon Bonaparte, what you will realize is that they all have led from the front by themselves. They can be seen by the troops at the head of the army opening up themselves to all the dangers like any other soldier. This bold action by a leader fills up the spirit of every soldier, forces them to fight to their fullest potential. The same can be seen in business or politics or any other leadership position. The companies with CEOs who lead from behind, who are only busy at the top, only taking strategic decisions and not really aware of what's going on the lower positions of the company, usually are less innovative and less competitive compared to those where the leader is seen by the whole company working harder than anyone else. Leaders who work harder than anyone else, who practice what they preach, who are not afraid to be accountable for tough decisions or taking risks, will find themselves created a well of respect that will pay back greatly. They can ask for sacrifices, punish the troublemakers, and make occasional mistakes, all without facing the usual grumbling and doubts. They don't have to yell, complain, or force their employees because they do that willingly. Now the second one is respect. The greatest leaders in history have learned the lesson that it's much better to be feared and respected than to be loved. It doesn't mean that you start threatening people all around to respect you, but being too nice always with everyone will make them respect you less and less over time. As much as I don't want to believe in this, but that's a reality, a harsh reality. Let me just give you a real life example. Who are you more likely to disrespect or take less serious? Your boss who's always kind and nice, or who's more serious and tough? Definitely the first one, who is always kind, because you know that disrespecting him won't lead to anything serious. But disrespecting the second one might cost you the job. So it's better to watch your mouth before you say something. If you choose to be always kind and lead in a very soft way out of fear of being disliked, then you will find people taking you less and less serious. So if you suddenly try to be tough, they often feel offended and upset. They can move from love to hate. But if you build a reputation for toughness and getting results, people might not like you, but they will respect you and would love to work with you because you deliver results. Now moving to the third one, the visionary. Any group must have a long-term vision to function properly because we're constantly distracted from all around, and that makes it hard for us to think a little bit deeper about the future. Without an exact vision, or if you wish it you can call it a long-term objective, you can't stay focused. Take a look at Thomas Edison, who was seen as America's outstanding inventor and scientist. His research lab came out with some of the most important technological innovations of all time. But the truth is, Edison himself had only a few months of formal education and was not a scientist at all. Instead, he was a mix of visionary businessman. His method was very simple. He looked at all the latest advances in science and technology. With his understanding of business and latest social trends, he thought about how some of these advances could be translated into products that could transform how people lived, such as electricity lighting up cities. He would then hire the best mind in this field to bring to life his ideas. So he made sure that his vision of the future was clear enough not only to himself, but to his team as well, like how lighting bulb is going to change the world. Thinking ahead is a skill that comes with practice. It means seeing something practical and achievable several years from now and coming up with ways to achieve that when there are thousands of distractions all around in your path. And the last one is the unifier. People naturally always want to protect and promote their interests, so they always split into fractions with similar interests. If you force them to unite under your leadership, you might control them, but they will always suspect you and will assume that all what you care is to promote your self-interest. So to keep the group united, you have to create a cause that's greater than your personal interest, a cause that everyone will believe in, like exactly what Napoleon Bonaparte did. One of the reasons what gave him such a big power, not only in becoming the Emperor of France, but in invading the rest of the Europe, is his ability to unite the French people around a cause that they all believed despite their differences: the greatness and the glory of France. The idea of France becoming the leader of the Europe and an example for the rest to follow. With this purpose, he led the country into many wars without anyone standing in his way, because the purpose wasn't to fight for Napoleon himself, but for the greatness of France. In this way, he transformed a deeply divided country which was running through a revolution into a nation that invaded the rest of the Europe. Definitely, there are much more characteristics of what really makes a great leader great, but these are the 4 main ones from the book The 50th Law by Robert Greene. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and as always, thanks for watching.